Hey people, intro here, February 3 Faction War. This is Hades Wastes and Tyranids versus the Eldar. For the blue Tyranid team, FieryMarine and a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support, alongside LoveDueT and a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon. Rounding off the team, Boogeyman 115 and a Hive Tyrant. A durable hero walking through objects, cannot be suppressed, can bring offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Alfonso. For the red Eldar team, we got double of Farseers. This is Magnificent Jeff and this is 505 Lava Konilov with the Ultway DLC scheme. Grabs the VP. These are support heroes fighting in melee. Some powerful buffs and control. She's off the field now. And rounding off the teams, Amove and a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat. Some powerful disruption and support on the east side there. So Farseer west and middle, Lictor Alpha on the west side. Gets the decap, gets a flesh hook. And the Farseer, are you going to run now because of that? Because there's triple Hormagaunts here for FieryMarine. Okay, she just backs off. In fact, she turns to engage. Not sure if... yeah, must have used guide already, I guess, because the energy's a bit low. Could have been from fleet though, I suppose. Looks like Amove is going to get 2v1 here. Warlock runs away. The other guy's backing off, which is fair enough. Banshees on the field for all three Eldar players. And most likely, I would think, a Guardian weapon team with a Shuriken cannon for each of the Eldar players too. Perhaps Rangers also on the west side to spot the Lictor Alpha. First Shuriken is coming up for Amove. FieryMarine must be going into Warrior Brood to get the Synapse, and I imagine a bunch of Ravener Broods to combat the Shurikens with burrow striking and stuff. A charge wouldn't go amiss also for the Hive Tyrant Alfonso, because you may see like two Shurikens each player here. Here comes another one, this time for Jeff, and there's the Warrior Brood for FieryMarine. Do we see aspects on the Banshees? Just the aspect of fleetness for Konilov, giving them 15% more hit points. The War Shout, the fleet, they can jump over stuff as well. Warlock is back, perhaps Immolator Blade on this guy. Although it might fall off. It does fall off once they start getting tier 2 and the specialized synapses which buff the health up so much. So maybe just wait for the Witchblade of Kurnus, eh? Maybe even Merciless Witchblade to keep this Ravener Alpha disrupted, because he can get nasty ranged weapons later on. Lictor Alpha's found some Guardians, most likely snuck up on him because they can't spot him. Aspect of fleetness coming in here for Jeff. No aspect yet for Amove, but does have the second Shuriken on the way. Well, his second. Fourth total because Konilov also has one now. Here is Jeff's. Here's a bit of an assist from Konilov. Doing a good job so far supporting both sides. Can do so quite quickly with an Eldar Farseer. She took some shots there though. And here comes Spirit Stones. Triple Hormagaunts playing into Gravity Blade maybe. I think both the Farseers should get Gravity Blade and Rune Armor and Spirit Stones. That would be a pretty powerful build here, I think. Rune Armor and Gravity Blade to disrupt stuff and control it. Spirit Stones for the big heals, of course. Maybe into Time Field later if you're having trouble with monstrous creatures and stuff. Shurikens are doing some good work here. Again, I didn't see the guide thrown out, but it must have been somewhere. Lictor Alpha did go down. Banshee is doing some good work. Oh, that's Fortune up. Okay, we have Fortune from Magnificent Jeff to keep those Howling Banshees alive. Into Doombringer. Well, I mean, you can see the logic. Help you focus down Synapse creatures and monstrous creatures, but I think the Gravity Blade will do so much work here. With the triple Hormagaunts. And it would lift up the Lictor Alpha himself, of course. Ravener Alpha gets suppressed, but then a Ravener Brood burrow strikes in. Boogeyman with double Ravener Brood. There's Doom on those guys there. Is it a 30% or is it 40%? It's 30%. It's the marked target of the Tech Marine, that's 40. The Shuriken makes it out. Ravener Alpha will revive the Lictor Alpha, and they're looking for their tier 2s now, I think. Here's that Farseer with the Doombringer. 58 DPS melee, not bad when she can get in there, but she doesn't have the sidearm anymore. And I think her sidearm was buffed a bit in 2.13. A little bit. Make her a bit more functional in combat. Howling Banshee's Exarch just got... Well, not the Exarch, they're not tier 2 yet. But they got... One of them got flesh hooked. Spirit Stone's heal went in there from Kornilov. Another Warrior Brood from FieryMarine. Shuriken set up in a good spot, but they're still going to get overrun, I think. There's just too much stuff here. See, look at this. Look at the work Gravity Blade would do on that stuff. Suppress it. They all blob up. Run in with Gravity Blade. And you shut it down for a bunch of seconds. Could set up grenade throws. Get Banshees into position. And if you have Rune Armor as well, they need to get through that. Some Guardians up the east side, decapping a fully matured wreck point with battle equipment. Well played Amove, and we did see the Immolator. We'll see how well it scales up into the later tiers. It tends to fall off, as I said, when the synapses come in, or just stuff starts leveling up. But no, are we going to see improved synapse? Not yet. Feeder Tendrils on the Lictor Alpha, though. Helps him stay in there and brawl a bit with the heal on hit. 345 to 494 on the VPs. Immolate on retreat path to stop those guys chasing, I suppose. Did we see a bunch of Adrenal Glands? Yeah, all three with Adrenal Glands for FieryMarine, those Hormagaunts. Barb Strangler, Warrior Brood, the other one with the Adrenal Glands most likely. Warrior Brood Adrenal Glands are like 30 power, 120 rep, 30 power, so it's quite an expensive upgrade for those fellas. This Shuriken might need to move. Burrow Striking Raveners. Or maybe we'll see some melee Raveners. They would be really nasty here, I think. I mean, having the ranged weapon is really good versatility, but having the extra speed, the extra melee prowess, really nice when you do get in there. Help you trade with the Banshees a bit better, maybe. This Farseer just leveled up to 2. That's Kornilov with the Spirit Stones, which gives her a nice heal when she revives stuff, which is typically turns up in a 3v3. Heroes go down, you revive them. Percentage base heal off that is nice. Is it 15? Yeah, 15%. Wraithlord on the way for Kornilov. I was going to say a tier 2 with Wraithlords and Warp Spiders I think would be quite strong. As long as you can micro the Warp Spiders, also need to micro the stances on your Wraithlord, because you want it to get the Shuriken shoulder mounted most likely and stay back until stuff gets close. Pushing through, forcing off the Farseer on the west side there, but again Kornilov right back over to support, dropping in an Autarch. It's a good shout from Jeff. If you keep sky leaping her, you can keep calling her down. I mean, you'd have to pay each time, but if you can get the big area of effect stun off it each time you drop her in, that's a really good engagement opener. What the hell is she doing now? She's going up the west side for some reason, looking for tunnels, I think. There's one here. You're going to cap this side, fellas. There's the Wraithlord. Already has the shoulder-mounted Shuriken Cannon, almost 47 piercing DPS just on this thing. Tearing through those Hormagaunts already. And, yeah, look, Guide on the Wraithlord. In 2.13, the Farseer can now cast Fortune and Guide on vehicles again, which she was able to do a bunch of time ago, but the effect is halved. So the Wraithlord will be getting 15% bonuses from that Guide there instead of 30. It's pretty cool. Not sure if it says that in the tooltip for Guide now. It would be nice for newer players if that's the case. Those guys are inside the tunnel. That's just the replay visual bug where they appear to be just standing there. Hive Tyrant. Oh, we got a Falcon. So maybe Venom Cannon Hive Tyrant, eh? Alongside the extended Carapace charge is very good against the Falcon. You shoot it a bunch, and when it drives away you charge, and you can start getting rear armor hits after that most likely. Autarch. Did the Autarch just jump in there? Where is she? Yeah, she's right there. I thought it was the Banshee Exarch with the spear, but that's her with her spear. Power melee spear it is. Kicking off. Wraithlord hanging back and shooting, which I think is what you want to do with it. Oh, Venom Brooder getting shots in now, though. And there's a Electroshock Grub. The Shuriken may be able to save it here. It's in a good spot to save it. Guardians running off the west side. Yeah, Venom Brood are backing off. Look, I think the double Shuriken's in a great place to support this thing with suppression. Guardians are also repairing. There's Doom, but Doom was put on Hormagaunts and not on a Warrior Brood. Maybe it was meant to be. It can be difficult to pick out the unit you want in a massive Tyranids. You'd expect it to be thrown on Warrior Brood to get the Synapse backlashes. What level are you, Mr. Lictor Alpha? You're level 2, has deadly jump to start fights now. Great opener. Oh, these guys are still chasing. This thing's not completely safe, especially since Ripper's, yeah, debuffing the speed look, I think, on hit. They're getting shots. Not sure if they can get it done, though. We do see a most likely full power bash here. And the Ravener Alpha always got the Synapse aura for damage. That purple Synapse you see on those guys is that one. And this guy can get a really nice ranged weapon. Corrosive Devourer. Outrageous. Oh, there it comes. Outrageous amounts of plasma DPS. And you get an anti-vehicle mode with corrosive shots. It also does a bit more damage to vehicles than other plasma weapons by default, I think. Oh, the Falcon's down. Venom Cannon. Hive Tyrant getting it done. And we have improved Synapse, and that was a Zone Throat back there, maybe hitting it with Focus Warp Blast and stuff. Kicking off on the west side again. Banshee's in here, Fortune up on these ladies. Did we see, or we don't see Gravity Blade yet? Surely you got to get Gravity Blade here. Double Shurikens again, doing good work. If they can get these Shurikens in place. Banshee's fighting in there. Autark buffing everything with damage resistance aura. Farseer is, of course, buffing everything. We now have Runes of Reaping here. So she can cast Doom and Fortune more often. And Guide, of course. You just put Guide on yourself? I think she did. Oh, we do see some Warp Spiders coming in for Jeff. I thought maybe it was a bit too late now. And he just want to go tier 3, but we do see the Warp Spiders coming in. Eldar's Natural getting decaps. Warp Spiders also for Amove. No, cancels them. May just be looking for tier 3 now then. And get an avatar on that side maybe, because it can pressure the natural VP of the Tyranids and defend your own with its disruption and stuff. I think it's a good spot for an avatar. Farseer capping Western VP level 3 for Kornilov. Level 3 for Jeff running away. Warlock still level 1 with the Immolator. What about these guys? Level 2 Lictor Alpha has Pheromone. Level 3 Ravener Alpha with the awesome Corrosive Devourer. Yeah, even normally resistant vehicle armor passively takes 150% damage. Can use corrosive shots to temporarily increase that to 250%. Awesome weapon. And look at the DPS, 43 plasma. Insane. And got reinforced chitin for the slowing on melee attacks when he gets hit by melee. And weapon knockback immunity. Farseer getting knocked over. I think she's alright. Maybe. Wraithlord going over after those Raveners who burrow struck the Shuriken. I think those Raveners are dead. Raveners are dead. The Wraithlord kept doing special attacks there and not hitting them, I think. Ravener Alpha goes down. Hive Tyrant's over here, though. Should be able to revive him. Destructor goes in. I guess there was an Immolator at some point. Not sure how much work it did, though. Because these guys, yeah, have their ranged Synapse, so they're buffing up the Ravener Broods and the Termagants. And it will work on allied Tyranids, not just your own. So you can use your allies' specialized Synapses. There's Doom on the Warrior Brood. Warp Spiders, they got suppressed. And this is a really, yeah, laboured teleport there. Had to wait for the last guy. And they're still suppressed. They couldn't do anything. And they run. Farseer goes down, but she'll get revived from there. No gens up, though. Big VP lead for the Eldar. Tier 3's coming in. All the Tyranid players goes tier 3. Amove is tier 3. What's the plan, though? Next purchase is really important. Is it going to be Seer Council over there? There's tier 3 for Kornilov. Still no Gravity Blade for this Farseer. Does have Rune Armor, though, which I think is awesome. Wraithlord trading with the Hive Tyrant there, but is getting repairs. Lictor Alpha comes jumping in, and he may die. Because being surrounded by Banshees, gets a good special. Gets a really good special. guide on these Guardians, I think. Grenade in there, that's alright. Both of those powers wiped out. One gen up here now. Shuriken is doing the Shuriken things. Yeah, the usage of the Farseer's abilities are so important in all of these fights. What do you put Guide on? What do you put Doom on? What do you put Fortune on? Very important. Almost level 3 this Hive Tyrant. 4 tots on him. He levels up. Got the Wraith Lord though, level 3 Hive Tyrant now. Wraith Lord did well, I think. Did it do well enough though to justify the cost of the thing when you add in the shoulder-mounted Shuriken? Would have been like 150 power. Here comes a Fire Prism for Amove. Now, with the Venom Cannon and Corrosive Shots and Venom Brood, it could go down very quickly. However, if you can keep it maximum range, maybe with Farseer Guide thrown on it, it could be amazing. You get 2 Fire Prisms up and keep them alive. The amount of fire support you get from long range is incredible. Here comes a Carnifex. You only got 1 Warp Spider. Oh, Kornilov replaced the Banshees, look. I didn't even realise they died. Are they the... oh, they're the black armoured ones. The Ulthway ones. 4 top running. Grenade. They're just shrugging off these grenade throws, aren't they? Once they get the synapses, they don't care. Oh, we have a tier 3 Lictor also for FieryMarine. That's a problem. Because, yeah, they can both jump in like that. Well, the other Lictor Alpha went down. And they can both chain together those jumps. There's the Fire Prism using the Disruptive Dispersed Shot at the moment. Needs to stay the hell away from all the anti-vehicle weapons, though, innit? Those guys getting suppressed. Yeah, they're not able to focus down the Synapse creatures as well as I thought they might be able to with Farseer support, with the Doom and the Guide. Hasn't worked out that they've been able to focus them quickly yet. Still no Gravity Blade here. Or another Doombringer. I guess you're always... it's always pressure on your resources to get stuff in it. I can call out war gear they should get, but they also need to purchase units and reinforce units and stuff. We got Seer Council on the way here for Kornilov. And a D-Cannon on the way for Amove. Carnifex got a Stranglethorn Cannon. Good damage to all targets. Suppresses infantry. Firing slowly. This VP will stay red for now. Still over 100 VP lead for the Eldar. Now they've got a new threat to deal with though. Big monstrous creatures with vehicle armor. I mean, they've got plenty of Guardian weapon teams that can get Bright Lancers, haven't they? And yeah, this Seer Council is getting the Empowered Spears immediately. Jeff has got some Seer Council now, keeping their power weapons at the moment. Here comes a Swarm Lord for Boogeyman and a Zoanthrope for LoveDueT, most likely to get Symbiosis and heal up these Carnifexes when they need it. On the east side, Repairs in for the Fire Prism, getting some good disruptive shots there, allowing the Banshees to approach. Forces a retreat, in fact. Carnifex, the Hive Tyrant, I should say, goes straight after the Fire Prism. Oh, okay, now he's got off the field. Can they decap this VP? Maybe. Back to the west side, we have the Seer Council providing 15% range damage resistance to themselves and allies nearby. And the Autarch also providing 15%. Not to herself, though. So if they can keep that blob of melee stuff together with Farseer support, that could be quite nasty. Swarm Lord is almost up, though. E-Cannon getting shots from long range. There's a Singularity. They're trying to move away. I think a couple of those Venom Brews are going to get caught, maybe. Or maybe one. Yeah, 2 of them got caught. But they'll be alright. Was that the Spirit Stone Seal? No, that was the Autarch jumping back, I think. Where's the other Farseer? She's here. She's ready. 146255. No weapon on her yet, though. There's that double leap. Look at that. That was cool. Good special attacks as well. Oh, he's switched to the Scything Talons here for Scythe for the disruption. That's a good shout, actually, with the Autarch and the Seer Council in there alongside the Banshees. Well, he's died, look. He's gone down. But the scythe, I think, is a good ability to have. Knock everything down and suppress it. This D-cannon needs to run. That was a direct hit from a D-cannon. They did not care. Swarmlord is here now. Blade Flurry knocking the Banshees all over the place. They're going to wipe, aren't they? They made it, you know. The Exarch made it, I think. I lied. Why did I say that? I cursed her to death. Banshees down. I don't think they're going to get replaced. Swarmlord provides a speed and reinforcement synapse around it. Very powerful. And we have a Genestealer Brood for LoveDueT, melee superiority unit, with Rending Claws. And they will have access to melee synapse when they're close to these guys. That was a good passage of play for the Tyranids. Double Genestealers? No way. I imagine they're going to get cancelled. Amove trying to get another Fire Prism up. What happened to the first one? That's the Falcon, I think. Oh, there's the Fire Prism. Look. He's trying to make Fire Prisms work. I mean... Okay, I mean, what else do you do? Maybe you get the new Dark Creepers up. The Dark Creepers can once more switch the weapons of the Exarch so they can get the one that does plasma cannon damage, the star shot or whatever, which gives you some kind of supplementary anti-vehicle, which might be handy against these monstrous creatures. Speaking of monstrous creatures, another Carnifex on the way, this time for Boogeyman. Can you make Fire Dragons work here, or are they too short range? Because you've got the guides. They don't have crack shot though. There's no Warp Spatter Exarch around. Not sure how much work this Warlock's able to do now with this Immolator. Guess you can tie up something. Get onto a Ravna Brood maybe. Kicking off on the east side, 2v2 fight I think. Fire Prism is here. He needs to use that focus shot on the Swarmlord though. And he's showing rear armor. There's a Tyrant formation. Tyrant formation I think from LoveDueT. Coming in from a flank. Those Genestealers looking to eat stuff. Down goes that Shuriken. That was a nasty little flank. The Fire Prism did back off. Yeah, even the Seer Council don't really want to fight the Swarmlord. He's got melee resistance. He's got nasty melee attacks, especially with the Blade Flurry thing. Back to the west side. Lictor Alpha's down again. This Farseer levels to 5. And the Seer Council are capping halfway through a level. Getting the Seer Council to level up will be amazing. Oh, we do get the Dark Creepers up, look. Getting their Exarch. So he starts off with an area of effect anti-infantry weapon, but he can switch to the... And we should get a different indicator when he switches, I think. Genestealers can't quite get the cap. 146, 172. The Tyranid armies are starting to look quite nasty, aren't they? We're going to see 2 Swarmlords. We've got 2 Carnifexes already. We've got that tier 3 Lictor. We've got some powerful heroes. Level 5 Ravenet Alpha with this thing. That's a Singularity. We saw the Reaper Barrage. I was going to say it's a strange time to use the Barrage because they were backing off, but they were trying to set up the Singularity there. 2 Fire Prisms for Amove. That could make a big difference. Warp Spiders run. They're level 3 though. They've got a bunch of stuff. Leech Essence for the Swarmlord. Leeching health of all this stuff. Oh, there's that Star Shot. Yeah, we get a little Missile Decorator now on these guys when they switch. Doom on the Swarmlord. Bright Lance getting shots in. Fire Prism getting shots in. And Eldritch Storm went in there too. Can they get the Swarmlord down? They do. Okay, they're going to have 2 more to deal with. They haven't been able to hit the power of the Tyranids very much, have they, the Eldar? It might be get more Bright Lance this time. Can you hold long enough for the Bright Lances to do their job, though? That's the thing. That Fire Prism's got Electroshock Grubs, and there comes a Tyrant formation. I'm not sure if they're actually taking hits. Oh, maybe they did. This one's slowed down by the Electroshock Grub still. 130 to 153. Alfonso the Hive Tyrant trying to finish him off. This one's down to 6 hit points. Is it far enough away? Stranglethorn might get it. It just gave up on life and blew up. What was that? There's an Eldritch Storm. Why did that Fire Prism blow up? Nothing shot it, right? I don't think so. That was weird. Nothing was even close to it. I don't think it was delayed damage from anything. Can they get this Swarm Lord down? They're chasing. Can teleport in for a Haywire. There's the Haywire. Seer Council are on it with their heavy melee weapons. And does have the melee resistance. So shrugging off half that damage. Well, even more actually, because when melee resistance is 40%, but heavy melee weapons only do half their damage to vehicles in the first place. Chewing through it, but they can't stay there for long on. They're off the field. 106 to 124. Double cap for the Tyranids. Eldar just can't stand their ground for long enough at the moment. Did we ever get... Oh, we got another Doombringer. 2 Doombringers, no Gravity Blades. Gravity Blades aren't useful against these giant creatures, but they're getting overrun. They're getting swarmed a lot, I feel like. Or at least they were. Farseer down there. Everything else runs. So I think we're going to see a triple cap for the Tyranids. And that could be it. They were getting swarmed a bunch, and now all these monstrous creatures, each one was like a nail in their coffin. They couldn't deal with the swarm and the big fellas. Level 4 Warlock now with Champion's Robe. Yeah, Warp Throw would have been really good against the swarms, but the swarms were mostly on the west side, I think. We just saw Catalyst on those guys from the Ravenite Alpha. On the west side when they 2v1'd. So hard, even with all the shurikens they had, it was hard to keep the swarm back, you know. They could just brute force their way through it. Yeah, triple cap. I don't think they can stop this. There's no way they can get 2 caps, right? Venom Brood on the way for LoveDueT. D-Cannon getting caught. I don't think they did anything massively wrong. I think Gravity Blade would have been amazing in the early tier 2 time. And still pretty good here. I mean, look at this swarm of stuff. Double cap at the end. And Tyranids take it. Tyranids victorious. Lictor Alpha was down. He went down a lot. But he was super aggressive and annoying to deal with, I think. Ravenite Alpha almost level 7 with that insane Corrosive Devourer. And of course the buffs from Synapse Aura. Hive Tyrant was level 4. Had Psychic Scream at the end. Oh, this was buffed in 2.13. It's now got, I think, a larger radius. And it's 30%. Instead of 25, but it's tier 2 now. Level 5 Farseer. Level 8 Farseer for Kornilov. How did he level up so much? With most of the game he didn't even have a weapon upgrade. That was amazing. And a level 4 Warlock. There you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Big thanks to these players for duking it out in a faction war for our amusement. I don't know who sent this in. Jeff, maybe? And I'll see ya next time.